guys, how you doing today?
It's Robin
and Barb.
Halfway to Sane.
We're going to go over some news articles that we've seen in the past week or so that has to do with some children, some adults as well, with child endangerment and whatnot. So Robin's going to start with her story, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth.
Okay, from Newser article posted on June 25th of this year. She could have gotten life. What prosecutors thought made her faint. A French woman on trial for murdering her abusive husband, who was her abusive stepfather.
What?
Before he forced her into marrying her, collapsed in court after hearing how long prosecutors were asking for her to spend in prison. Yikes. Valerie Bacot, 40 years old, could have seen life in prison after admitting to killing Daniel Poletti, something like that, who she said started raping her when she was 12 years old. But during the courtroom proceedings, prosecutors asked for a 5-year behind bars for Valerie, with 4 years suspended because she has already been in detention for a year. She'll likely walk away a free woman.
Yes.
Great news. I like to hear that.
Yep.
When she understood what that meant, she was stunned. She had a panic attack and then fell ill. I would too.
Yes.
Valerie Bacot, whose best-selling memoir about her experience was published in May, has admitted to fatally shooting Daniel Poletti.
It's either Poletti or Pilati, we're not sure.
Who fathered her 4 children.
Oh my God.
In March 2016, during her trial, Valerie said she killed Daniel Poletti partly because she feared he was grooming their 14-year-old daughter to become a prostitute as well. Well, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Prosecutor Eric Jolette said that justice had to be served in the case. As a criminal court stands for civilized values, foremost among which is the protection of life, it's acknowledged that Bacot was very clearly a victim as well, that she was not likely a risk to commit another crime like this again, and that her kids needed her. Thank goodness.
Yeah, he was her stepfather first and started raping her and then forced her to marry him and then fathered 4 children. What a messed up story. Messed up life for
her and her kids.
God. But at least justice was served.
Yes. Excuse me.
You want me to go?
Yeah, I think mine's at 7 too. So.
Okay, yeah, mine is a June 30th story in the Richmond Times, and parents charged after child under 5 years old found dead in freezer at family's Virginia Chesterfield home. The custodial parents of a Chesterfield County child whose body was found in a freezer at the family's home have been charged with conspiring to conceal the body, police say.
Gross.
The parents, Cassine Weaver, 49, and Dina Weaver, 48, were also charged with failing to render aid to the child, identified as Eliel Weaver, after investigators discovered his remains in May at the family's home. Police say they received information on May 4th that the remains of a child may be located at the Weaver home. An investigation was commenced, and investigators obtained a search warrant for the home. In a freezer inside of the garage of the house, detectives discovered human remains, which were transported to the state medical examiner's office for identification and to determine a cause of death. The medical examiner confirmed the remains are those of a child who was under 5 years old at the time of his death. The medical examiner has not yet determined the child's cause or manner of death. This is a very unique death investigation. There were so many unknowns and so many things that had to be done differently than a normal death investigation. People, it's bad enough that you've killed your child. What were you going to do? What was the reason for hiding it in a freezer for all these years? The state medical examiner's office was to bring some specialists, forensic anthropologists, to determine a way to thaw out the remains so that they didn't lose anything or do any damage to the remains, so they'd still be able to determine there was anything of evidentiary value. It was a very slow process, and it took a long time to do it properly. So basically, they needed to thaw out his body very, very slowly. They couldn't just, when we have our chicken in the freezer and we pull it out, that just couldn't be done. They couldn't just thaw him out all at one time.
I wonder why.
Well, because the body would have broken down sooner, is what I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but that's my understanding of what I've been reading, that it could only be done really slow in order not to lose body tissue and the DNA and all that. The investigators also had to verify whose remains were in the freezer. While they believed it was the child of the Weavers, they still had to verify it. They had to do some DNA testing to verify that it was Illeal. The investigators took many things from the house, such as phones, computers, and documents as part of the investigation. As the investigation progressed, police also charged Cassine with concealment of a body, domestic abuse, and malicious wounding of his wife. There was definitely some abuse going on in the home. Police said they have confirmed through DNA testing that Dina is Illeal's biological mother, but investigators have not yet confirmed whether Cassine is the biological father. The police said their investigation is continuing, and anyone with information should contact the department. And I'll give the phone number. It is 804-748-1251. So if you live in this area, you know anything at all, you're the next door neighbor, you're a relative, if you know anything, call the number 804-748-1251. That's all I got on that one.
Okay. Another. Excuse me.
Allergies suck.
Yes. Okay, I have one from 7/2/2021. So this just happened. CBS Detroit News, Sheriff's Office. Wixom man charged with first-degree child abuse. Ryan McManus, 25 years old, is being held in the Oakland County Jail on $100,000 bond after being accused of causing multiple broken bones, a lacerated liver, and brain injuries that left their 3-year-old boy in intensive care in a comatose manner. Ryan is accused of causing the injuries to the boy on May 25th while his mother was at work. A conviction on the charge carries up to life in prison. Let's hope so.
Yep.
The incident happened at the boy's house. Detectives who were alerted to the abuse by Child Protective Services met with doctors from the intensive care unit at a local hospital. His injuries included 8 broken bones. Let me try that again. 8 broken ribs, elbow fractures,
Oh my God.
laceration to the liver, trauma to the pancreas and kidneys, and brain injuries, and bruising of the face, back, chest,
Oh my God.
and all extremities in various stages of healing. Really, dude? McManus was arrested at his residence. The boy has been released from the hospital and is living with his father. So apparently this was his step
Yeah, it sounds like it was a stepfather.
or just a
boyfriend. Or
boyfriend.
something.
The boy has been released from a probable cause conference for McManus is set for July 14th. So we will continue with this story when we get more news on it.
Yep.
And that's, excuse me, all I have on that one.
Just so that I know we want to back up and keep an eye on it. Okay.
Yep,
Do you need to go get a drink?
nope, I'm fine.
All right. The next story we're going to cover, I kind of wanted to follow it. I don't know if you guys remember, if you followed us at all. We live in Texas, but we come from Pennsylvania. And we come from the Allentown, Pennsylvania area. So I don't know if anybody, you guys are in that area, but this story comes from Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's a story that was just posted today. And the person that's being accused, I kind of followed them a little bit months ago for an election. I'm not going to get too much further into it because this isn't a political thing, but it reads, Allentown council member charged with child endangerment. Oh, little boy, it's not playtime yet. Look, he brought me his favorite toy.
His favorite toy.
Is half the size of him. There he goes. Okay. A council member is a fair... What was that?
I don't know. Try it again?
Yeah, maybe with a drink. Maybe I should have something harder than water.
No. Not while we're on live. Or on recording.
Yeah. A council member, a former mayoral candidate in Allentown, Pennsylvania, was charged on Tuesday, June 29th, with child endangerment after prosecutors said she took a runaway teenager to a tent encampment used by homeless people where he was subsequently solicited for scent. So what they mean by this tent encampment, where that area is, it's just a big area of homeless people. They all have their tents set up or, sheets hanging to make it look like tents or whatever. It's called Tent City.
Yes.
And it's where all the police, everybody knows where this particular area is. They have a lot of crime that goes on there, again, because people are
homeless.
Yeah, homeless. So they're trying to look for a way to survive. And unfortunately, a lot of them just end up living out of a tent. So anyway, the council member, Democrat C.C. Gerlach, denied any wrongdoing, and her lawyer slammed the Republican district attorney over what he suggested was a political hit job meant to destroy Gerlach's career. Now, she just ran not that long ago for, the political party, and she hasn't even been at this current job all that long, but I don't know if she's rubbing people the wrong way or if this is just, bad luck, what you call it, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think she should have taken...
Well, I didn't get that far yet. Gerlach was working as a homeless outreach caseworker when she gave the 16-year-old boy a tent and other supplies and took him to an Allentown encampment known as Tent City and asked a resident there to look after him, according to the Lehigh County District Attorney's Office. So she took a 16-year-old runaway, went to the store, bought a tent and supplies, took him to this Tent City where God knows who, drug abuse is going on there, alcoholism, people are doing things to other people, it's steal money, and she took this child there and then asked another person staying in a tent to keep an eye on him. You don't know this person from Adam. Ugh. The boy spent parts of 2 days and 1 night at the camp before another caseworker spotted him there, thank God. He told police he was solicited for sex in exchange for a cigarette and saw prostitution and fighting, authorities said. Gerlach was charged with endangering the welfare of children, failing to report suspected child abuse, both of which are misdemeanors. Anything to say there?
First of all, she shouldn't have taken him anywhere. If anywhere, she should have taken him to children, youth, I
think
CPS.
there's a little bit coming up on that.
Okay.
In a written statement distributed by her attorney, Gerlach declared that she has never committed a crime in her life, and that includes the current allegation against her. Gerlach, a longtime community activist and former school board member who was elected to city council in 2019, entered the race for mayor but lost in the last months of the Democrat Party. The incident for which she was charged took place about a month after Gerlach began working at a Valley Youth House, an organization that serves thousands of at-risk youth and their families in 23 Pennsylvania counties. The 6-year-old told police he had called the organization's hotline last July and was put in touch with Gerlach, who was on duty at the time. He told her he had run away from home and needed a place to stay. Gerlach took him to Tent City and asked the man who lived there to look after him. The man who lived at the camp for 6 years described the teenager as a young, skinny kid that was scared to death to be there and not capable of taking care of himself. He said Gerlach told him she had tried to place the boy at a YMCA but was unsuccessful because he was a minor. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. Sorry, guys. A day later, a caseworker for another organization saw the boy at the encampment and knew he should not be there because of his age. Prosecutors said Gerlach failed to immediately notify the state's child line abuse reporting system about the boy, as state law requires. Prosecutors also said she could have contacted police or Lehigh County child welfare authorities instead of taking him to the encampment, where police have been called dozens of times over the past year. I think they're there every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good area to have anybody in, let alone a 16-year-old. In a statement that did not come from Gerlach, Valley House said that it suspended an employee in May during its own internal investigation, then fired the person. Our number one priority is the safety, protection, and well-being of the young people served by Valley Youth House, issued by Senior Vice President Christina Shoemaker. Gerlach's attorney, Ettore Angelo, accused District Attorney Jim Martin of releasing a statement about the case that poisons the justice process against his client. Angelo said one of Martin's deputies contacted him earlier Tuesday with a threat from Martin himself that if Miss Gerlach and I contacted the press about her legal appearance today, that there would be no discussions about possible resolutions. He called it a devious move, considering that Martin issued a lengthy recitation of the case while Gerlach was being processed at the county jail. Angelo questioned whether Martin had launched a political hit job to destroy the career of a woman who spends her every working hour fighting for the downtrodden. A message was left with Martin's spokesperson seeking comments on the allegation, to which they have not received any information. So, that's the story from where we came from several years ago.
Yeah.
Don't like to brag about it too much. Yeah, we grew up there. But I would like to see, like to keep up with that and see what happens. And I hope the kid is okay.
Yeah.
I hope they have him placed with the family if he wasn't able to go back to where he came from. Everybody deserves a fair chance. And obviously he ran away from something that was not right in his household. So, you good?
I'm good.
I'm good. What?
I'm good.
Okay.
And
Well, we're going to sign off for now. So, we're out of here.
they had